Let me guess, you work in cybersecurity, you're sharp, highly skilled, and making great money, but your body has paid the price for your career. You sit behind a screen all day, staring at threats, patching vulnerabilities, protecting everyone else. But the one thing you haven't been protecting is your health. You're eating whatever's quick, skipping workouts, and telling yourself you'll get back on track when things slow down, but they never do. Listen, I get it. I know exactly what you're going through. I work with and coach six-figure professionals in tech and cybersecurity who are elite in their field, but silently struggling behind the scene. That's exactly why I created the 5-pillar framework. 5 key areas to help high-performing men rebuild their strength without sacrificing their career. This video will show you exactly how using the evaluation from a member who recently joined my private membership community, the standard. Because what's the point of protecting networks and companies if not even able to protect your own body? So let's go ahead and jump into today's video. So for the first part of the video, we'll go ahead and do a career evaluation where we'll analyze where he's at in his career. So we have 5 levels of careers. We have warrior, specialist, entrepreneur, CEO, creator, and coach. So this guy is a cybersecurity engineer. So he is currently at the specialist phase of his career. So usually most 6-figure earners are at the specialist phase of their career. And during the specialist phase, what ends up happening is that they've mastered one area of their field. And as a result, they are being compensated very highly for it. But check this out. One of the biggest goals in the specialist stage to be able to grow and scale is you have to be able to expand your skill set by learning how to lead. And by learning how to lead, he can now move into this next phase, which is what we call the entrepreneur phase. And for those that are in more 9-to-5 environments, is the entrepreneur phase, where he goes from cybersecurity engineer to cybersecurity manager. And what's so funny is that so many of the tech types, interestingly enough, they're really not that obsessed with getting a raise. Because for them, they like being on a computer. They like actually being with machines more than being with people. And being a manager and having to deal with a bunch of individuals is a huge challenge. So in order to grow, you have to really invest in leadership development. I was talking to a guy recently who's currently getting his MBA to grow in his leadership skills. So that's what you need to do to go from specialist to entrepreneurs. But what I've noticed is that in order to become a specialist, most cybersecurity professionals spend so much time behind a computer, which leads to their biggest area of weakness. In order to talk about that, let's go ahead and jump into the 5-pillar evaluation. So next we are into the main part of the evaluation, which is the 5-pillar evaluation. So like I told you earlier, we in the standard define holistic excellence as excellence in 5 different areas: physically, emotionally, spiritually, socially, and financially. Most 6-figure earners are only focusing in on the financial at the expense of all areas. So what we do is that we go ahead and analyze them based upon the 5 pillars, and you get 4 scores. Level 1 means you're doing okay in this area. Level 4 is legacy. That, like I said, almost no one gets level 4. That means you are at the top in this current space. And if you're not even at level 1, you get level 0, which unfortunately this gentleman got. So we'll go ahead and evaluate him based upon these 4 pillars. So emotionally, he was okay. He has addressed a lot of his wounds, though he didn't really tackle them, but he did address them. So he's doing good emotionally. Spiritually, he's also doing okay as well. Socially, oddly enough, a lot of tech guys really do struggle socially because they're always behind a computer, but socially he's okay. And in true cybersecurity fashion, those guys who are actually doing really well in cybersecurity are making a good amount of money. So he is currently level 2 financially when we do the evaluation. But his biggest area of weakness is an area that so many people in tech, especially in cybersecurity, struggle with, and that is the physical pillar. You know why? Because you're behind a computer screen ordering DoorDash all the time, literally married to the Eatos family, Fritos, Tostitos, Doritos, all the Eatos, and you're not taking care of your health. And so when we evaluated his physical health, according to our evaluation, he was a level 0 physically. And that is a huge problem, and it showed in his waistline. So the biggest excuse cybersecurity professionals make for their terrible physical shape is that they don't have enough time. Man, I have such a high demand at work. They're paying me $250,000, so therefore I'm having to work 16, 18 hours. I don't have time to be able to get in the gym. That is a load of crap. Because this is why it's so important to be around a community of people who are also getting after it. Because what you realize is that there are other jobs where people are working as much, if not more hours than you, and they're also making time for their gym. The reality of it is, let me tell you a secret that will piss a lot of you guys off, but I do not care. You are not busy, you're just lazy. You're just comfortable, because similar to most tech guys, when you actually audit their time, they somehow have time to play video games. They somehow have time to watch anime. They somehow have time to scroll through social media, but then it will explain to you that, oh, because of my work demands, I don't have enough time to get in their best shape. So for me, this is a huge excuse. You can literally show them other people in other fields, and even people in the tech field who's doing so. Shout out to my guy Dane, member of the Standard in New York City. This man is crushing it, doing extremely well in cybersecurity, but he's in the best shape of his life. There is no excuse, and I love when people give me excuses so I can go ahead and choke them out. So why is the physical pillar important? Guys, so many people talk about the importance of physical, mainly from vanity, right? Obviously, I would love for you to be able to take your shirt off at the beach and have girls breaking their necks to see you. I would love for you to look like an Adonis and be able to have chiseled abs and all the great things that come from being in your best shape, right? That's the vanity stuff, and obviously we can talk about that a little bit later. But here is why it's so important. All the money in the world cannot replace true wealth, which is health. So let's say you're a cybersecurity guy, like, you know what? I actually don't care about physical health. I just want to make this money. And let's say you do go to level 4 legacy stage and you have a multi-million-dollar net worth. You're doing extremely well for yourself. And then you get a health scare. Then you get a heart attack. Then you get dementia. Then you get something that's so severe. Guess what? You will trade every single penny in your bank account to take care of your physical health. And so many people pay for it later. And what's fascinating, going off that concept, everyone has to pay the price for physical health. You either pay for it now by working in the gym, or you pay for it later on when you're older, when you're in the hospital bed, when you have nothing but hospital bills, when you can't even play with your children because you're so fat and out of shape. So my question to guys is, when do you want to pay the price? Do you want to live to be literally 65 years old and die due to heart disease? Or do you want to see your great grandchildren and be able to move around because you took care of your physical health? In the Standard, we have 3 core values: excellence, assisting, and the third one is legacy. Everything that we do is for legacy. We're not just making money just for vanity. We want to leave a generational wealth to our next generation, but more than leaving generational wealth, we want to be there to be able to see them. So guys, please stop neglecting your physical health. So here is the immediate strategy that we give to tech guys. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of guys are not going to like this strategy. So I will give 2 different strategies, because the first one I know you guys are not going to like. So if a guy is really in bad shape, we will ask him how serious is he into getting in his best shape. And if he's super serious, we have a proven workout system that we give to these guys. But here's the key. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I know, I told you, you're not going to like it. 4 a.m. workouts with other driven guys. If that doesn't motivate you to sleep right, eat right, and work hard, I'm telling you, nothing will. And the results from the guys who go to these 4 a.m. workout boot camps are night and day. And let me tell you why. The reason why we do 4 a.m. workouts is because what we've noticed is that some of the biggest challenges that also happen for these tech guys is that they stay up late at night. And when you're up late, you know what you're also doing late? You're eating ice cream, you're door dashing and doing Uber Eats. You are doing things that are going to lead to bad health, especially not sleeping. So literally, by getting you to wake up early and not stay up crazy late into the night, what we found is that you eat better, you sleep better, and you get way better results, because it's not only the wear and tear of the body that leads to the best health, it's also the rest and recovery. So if you are a guy that's constantly working out, trying to get in your best shape, but you're not getting the 8 hours of sleep, if you're not giving your body the right nutrition, if you keep on fueling your body with garbage, you're not going to be able to grow in this area. But for all the guys who are not that serious about growth, and you hear 4 a.m. workouts and want to crawl back into your Dungeons and Dragons corner, the next thing that we suggest is working out, but with a member of the community who's in shape. Because here's what I found. If you are a man, you will remember this if you played sports. You got in your best shape when you were younger in high school, when you're on a sports team. You know why? Because being around other guys motivates you. So if you're the only guy working out in the gym, yes, you're able to lose maybe 10, 15, 20 pounds. But when you start getting down to the hard, stubborn areas of the body fat, it becomes more and more challenging. So when you're able to work alongside other guys who are driven, who are motivated, and who are getting after it, and who've already experienced results that you want, that's when you get the best results. So even if you don't do the 4 a.m. workouts, it's so important to find a workout partner who can motivate you, encourage you, and keep you accountable to your goals. So the book recommendation I love to give guys who are struggling physically is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. David Goggins' book is some of the best motivation, because David Goggins is like a lot of you guys who was extremely out of shape, who was not achieving his full potential, but was able through sheer willpower to be able to transform his life into the man that he is today. So what I recommend you guys is to listen to Goggins' book while you're working out. So let's say the book is like 8 to 9 hours. So you can be able to just have an hour workout 4 times a week. So you listen to the book literally twice a month. And so the motivation, the inspiration will be so great, and it'll help you hit your goals, as well as remind you of why you're in the gym, especially during those 4 a.m. workouts that absolutely suck. So what I like to do at the end of every evaluation is I like to go ahead and paint a vision of what life will look like once these men get in their best shape possible. And what ends up happening is, because the physical pillar, it requires so much physical pain you got to deal with to be able to grow in this area, so many guys won't do it. So usually I like to share a story, but my business partner, Joseph, has this brilliant idea that he was able to do to get in his best shape, where there's this app that you can download, and it can create an AI version of you when you're in your best shape. Joe calls it AI Joe. So let's say this guy's name is Brent, right? So Brent joined the standard. We'll go ahead, use the AI program to create AI Brent, right? How Brent looks like when he's like 15, 10% body fat, whatever it may be. And then what Brent will do is he'll go ahead and take that image and put it on the screensaver of his phone. So now he can be able to see, right, what he's going to look like when he gets in his best shape. And then the coolest part is that when you finally get into your best shape, you'll be able to put AI you and you current you and be like, yo, this is what I work for. It's the greatest thing possible. So I hope that helped. Guys, do not neglect your physical health, because it is where true wealth is. If you want to go ahead and take the evaluation and see which is your biggest area of weakness, go to the link in the description below and go ahead and check it out. And if you want to join a community and have me and my team do this evaluation with you, go ahead and join the standard. The link is also below. Thank you guys so much for your time, and have a great day.